I don't want to give away any spoilers. The very first time we met, we had a 3-hour meeting. And by the end of that meeting, I just knew she was Lily.
So deeply, and I'm so proud of the work that we all did in this movie, and that's, every single member on screen, all the people off screen. It was so...
I had an incredible team, and an incredible group of women around me.
Pain pulling double duty again in the future?
You're gonna have to ask me in a little while. I think Blake Lively's ready to direct, that's what I think.
What if we told you that behind the carefully polished red carpets and tightly sealed Hollywood contracts, something deeply human might have unfolded? A real emotional bond, one that no amount of PR could script. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni are starring in the highly anticipated film adaptation of It Ends With Us, a novel that digs into romance, trauma, and the blurry lines in between. But now, the chemistry on screen has become a hotbed of speculation off screen. A licensed psychiatrist has stepped forward, not as a gossip monger, but as an expert observer of human behavior, to say what some fans have been whispering all along. Blake may have caught real feelings for Justin. Wild? Maybe. But wait until you hear what makes this theory more than just clickbait. Could two of the most family-focused celebrities in Hollywood really be tangled in something deeper? Let's dive in. Dr. Tracy Hutchinson, a respected clinical psychologist, didn't name names maliciously. Instead, she offered a general analysis about how actors can fall for each other while portraying intimacy, especially in films that deal with trauma bonding, like It Ends With Us. According to Dr. Hutchinson, when actors embody characters going through emotional pain and healing, it's not uncommon for real neurological and emotional attachments to form. She emphasized that the brain often can't distinguish between scripted emotions and real ones, especially when these feelings are rehearsed daily for months. This wasn't speculation pulled from a tabloid. This was grounded in psychological theory, attachment theory, mirror neurons, emotional transference, all of it pointing to one core truth. Sometimes fiction becomes emotionally real. And while Dr. Hutchinson never confirmed an affair or even romantic involvement, her timing, shortly after new footage of Lively and Baldoni surfaced, was enough to stir a frenzy. But here's the twist. Was there something in Blake's body language that hinted at more than acting? Fans and media outlets began revisiting behind-the-scenes clips and promotional content. In several interviews, Blake and Justin were noticeably comfortable, some would even say locked in, with each other's presence. Observers pointed out micro-expressions, prolonged eye contact, subtle leaning in, and synchronized laughter, signs, according to body language experts, of deeper emotional attunement. Now, is that chemistry or connection? Entertainment. Tonight's coverage of the film set described the two leads as intensely committed to capturing the emotional weight of the story. Meanwhile, anonymous crew members allegedly told Dumois that their bond felt strangely intimate. Of course, anonymous tips are hardly proof, but when you combine that with real psychological principles and high-pressure filming environments, a pattern starts to form. So, then comes the big question. Where does Ryan Reynolds fit into all this? And has he noticed anything himself? Ryan and Blake have always seemed like the perfect couple. Funny, unbothered, and fiercely private. But fans couldn't help but notice that during the filming of It Ends With Us, Ryan appeared quieter online. The couple, known for roasting each other on social media, suddenly slowed down their usual back and forth. A simple coincidence? Maybe. But when Ryan skipped several events during the film's promotional window, citing schedule conflicts and creative obligations, some began to wonder, was it really work? Or was something off? Page 6 even hinted at tensions behind the scenes, though no direct source confirmed this. Still, the timing was interesting. Could Ryan have sensed a shift? And if so, why stay silent? Now, let's talk facts. According to a study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, actors portraying emotional intimacy often experience real bonding effects, even without physical attraction. The human brain reacts to simulated affection as if it were genuine, especially over prolonged periods. This is called emotional transference. So imagine Blake and Justin rehearsing painful love scenes, trauma dialogue, and healing arcs for weeks on end. Add hotel rooms, emotional vulnerability, isolation from family. Is it really that far-fetched? The journal also noted that the most susceptible individuals are those who are deeply empathetic and emotionally available, both traits Blake has been praised for. So maybe this wasn't about betrayal. Maybe it was about connection, accidental, unscripted, and intensely real. But what about Justin's side? Is he just as emotionally involved, or simply playing the part? Justin Baldoni is not your typical Hollywood heartthrob. He's built a reputation as an advocate for conscious masculinity. He speaks at TED Talks about emotional honesty, has written a best-selling book on being a vulnerable man, and shares heartfelt posts about his wife Emily and their children. So, the idea of him getting tangled in a romantic rumor seems wildly off-brand. Until you consider this. Empathetic men, especially those who deeply connect with their emotions, can be more susceptible to emotional overlap on set. And Baldoni has directed as well as acted in It Ends With Us, giving him a deeper emotional investment in the story and characters. In short, he wasn't just playing a role, he was shaping it, breathing life into it. And maybe, unintentionally, blurring the lines between actor and man. So, did Justin also feel something real? Or was he simply doing his job too well? The internet exploded when the rumor first spread. YouTubers, TikTokers, and gossip channels ran with headlines like Blake falls for Justin, Ryan in shock, set romance, or innocent friendship. But let's get something clear. So far, there's no solid evidence of infidelity. No confirmed affair, no official statements, just psychological insight, behavioral patterns, and a lot of emotionally charged footage. And yet, the media's thirst for controversy spins the speculation faster. Should we hold media outlets accountable for pushing narratives that might not be true? Or is the public just too hungry for a real-life soap opera? What's the fine line between curiosity and intrusion? While the world debates Blake and Justin, one name remains largely out of the spotlight: Emily Baldoni. Justin's wife of over a decade has been unusually quiet during the promotion of It Ends With Us. In the past, she was present for most of Justin's premieres and interviews, but this time, she's been noticeably absent. Sources say she's focusing on her wellness business and parenting, but fans aren't convinced. A cryptic Instagram story from a few months ago read, "Energy doesn't lie. Trust your gut. Protect your peace." Some interpreted it as a subtle nod to the rumors, others dismissed it entirely. Still, her silence speaks volumes and begs the question, is Emily choosing to step back because there's nothing going on, or because there's more to the story than we know? Now, let's not forget, Hollywood is built on performance. Actors are trained to form quick bonds, simulate intimacy, and then detach. It's entirely possible that everything we've seen is just acting, that Blake and Justin are simply that good at what they do. In fact, sources close to both stars insist that their relationships remain strong. Representatives for both have declined to comment, but insiders told People magazine that Blake and Ryan are doing great, and Justin is fully committed to his family. So maybe this entire narrative is fueled by projection, coincidence, and overanalysis. But if that's the case, why are so many people still convinced something deeper happened? In a world obsessed with behind-the-scenes drama, maybe we're guilty of trying to script a story that never happened. Or maybe, just maybe, there are emotional truths hidden in the spaces between lines and glances. What's real? What's fiction? And more importantly, does it matter? Because whether or not anything ever happened between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, the speculation reveals more about us than it does about them. Our need for romance, for scandal, for peeling back the curtain on perfect lives. And that's the real takeaway here. Not whether Blake fell for Justin, but why we're so eager to believe she might have. Would you believe it if they came out and denied everything? Or do you think some truths are never said aloud?